So first of all, before we begin, like the video down there, subscribe. There's a whole bunch of new subscribers, and I'm excited to show you guys what we're doing today. Gonna be showing you guys all the 3 cars that I own, what mods I have on them, and I'm gonna be asking for suggestions because right now I feel like all the 3 cars are good as they sit. Obviously there's still some stuff that I'm gonna mention in the video of what I'm missing and what I'm gonna do to the cars, but I'm open to suggestions as in what kind of content you guys want to see with the cars. I have some ideas for my FA5, but the FL5 and my Wagon are kind of like at a standstill right now content wise because I don't really know what to do with them. I love how they look for the most part. You can get picky in the comments and let me know what you would change. Let's get to it. So this is my 2012 Acura TSX Wagon. Right now it's on stock wheels. We have airlift 3-piece suspension. We have the Modulo front bumper, the bi-xenon headlights, power folding mirrors, and tints. That's all we have done to this car as of right now. So I'm gonna show you guys, actually there's a couple little things, let me show you. So I'm gonna start with one of the coolest features. I think my favorite feature is super simple, but I have the power folding mirrors from wherever they come from in another country. I set it up with my key, so I just unlock and they open, and then when I lock, they close back. So I have that set up that way. Keep in mind, this was my daily. It's not like a show car. It's not in perfect condition. It was my daily. But you know, you gotta show love to the dailies as well. So I have the V6 covers that didn't come in the 4-cylinder, the K series. So you have to modify this a little bit, but got that fitting. And I also got it, which is a lot of people don't do, is the gas shocks. So just like the V6, it just opens up and there's no need for a hood prop. So I have that done. I think that's a cool little neat feature. And then in the front, I have the Modulo front bumper with the Modulo grille and then the bi-xenon headlights. It looks nice factory, but it's a little bit different. And then stock wheels as of now because I stole them for the other car. Exterior wise, that's pretty much it. And the side skirts that they actually came with the car when I bought them, so that was a nice plus. Oh, and I have, because of the mirrors, is nice blue tinted glass, so I think that looks cool too. And this is the tech package, which I didn't know until I got it, that only the tech package has the power liftgate. What I love about this setup is that you can't even see none of the air stuff. I have it all hidden in the bottom, so I'll show you how that is. Don't mind all the mess. Like I said, this is a daily. I just picked up a Christmas tree in it, so there's a whole bunch of pines and stuff on it. So all my air setup is hidden down here. That's not supposed to be like that. But I I have 2 seamless tanks connected so that I have a total, I think it's about 4 to 5 gallons. I don't know, to be honest, but I wanted that setup. I just thought it looked cool. I was gonna go more into depth with it, but then stayed like that as usual. Then I have the management here. Oh, so this used to be like a little foam, or not foam, a little piece that used to be under here that was like plastic. That's why it's been sounding funny when it airs out, because this got all destroyed, I guess, with the airline. Oh, that's nice. Cleaning that is gonna be a blast. But yeah, so I have the management down there. I had the exhaust line outside, but I had to take it out when I was messing with something, and I never put it back, and obviously that's what caused this whole mess. So let me just tuck it away and ignore it. And I never got to, you know, tucking this away completely, because when I bagged this car, I did it one day before a show that we had to attend. So, you know, it's usually you save it for a future you, and then you never get back to it. I still think it looks fine. It's all hidden, so it doesn't matter. And then I have the compressor over here tucked down. So that's my favorite part of this setup, is that you cannot see anything. It literally looks stock, especially when you put the floor mat trunk cover thing over it. You can't see it. Love it. And then I have the dash cam. This is the rear camera installed nice and tucked away. No wires hanging, it looks super clean. And I have the front camera set up there, nice wired, so you can't see none of the wires. So nice clean feature there. And on the interior, I have my airlift remote coming out through here, through the vent, so that, you know, minimal wire is showing. That's how I like my setup, and I've always been just used to having it on this side. And then other than that, the interior stock, I have a voltmeter here with a plug. But other than that, everything else is completely stock inside. LEDs, but that's typical. But yeah, this is my 2012 Acura TSX Wagon. So on to the next car. Let me tell you guys, in the middle of this, I'm an idiot. I freaking locked myself out of the wagon. So now I gotta walk like 14 minutes to my house to get the spare key. So that's gonna be fun. And I think it's about to rain. I literally feel a couple drizzles. What an idiot. What an idiot. Bye, wagon. Look at where I left the key. This is car number 2. My 2023 Honda Civic Type R. I've had this since, I'm gonna go with June of this year. Right now, it's on air suspension, Airlift 3H. It's on T37s, 18, 9.5. 22 is the offset on the wheels. Then there's a 15 mil adapter, so that brings it down to like +7 offset. Then I have the overseas headlights with the clear corners, and then it just tinted all around, 5% on the windows and then 15 on the windshield. But other than that, it's completely stock. So this is the current daily, so obviously don't mind even more of the mess than the wagon. Setup is very similar. Just the tank is outside because we couldn't hide that. But here under, we have the management and we have the compressor. So everything else is hidden, just needs to be cleaned, obviously. Don't, like I said, don't mind that, don't judge me. I think it sits pretty good, airs out pretty good for it being 18s and such an aggressive spec. I believe the camber was at -6 in the back, or -5 in the back, 5.5-ish around there, and then -5, 5.5-ish in the front. So it's pretty even, but I love how it sits. So future plans for this car, I do want a front lip. All options right now are like $800 to $1,200, and they're carbon fiber. And I know if I get a carbon lip on this car, it's gonna blow through it. I'm just gonna be pissed off because this car scrapes on the bottom, not the bumper, but the little rubber piece that it has on the bottom, almost everywhere because of the ride height. So front lip is something I'm waiting for, see what options come out that makes sense to me. I want to do a downpipe and an exhaust, because the only reason I want an exhaust is because of the tips. I don't like the uneven tips. I want even tips. So it's either or. I could do just the downpipe and then just figure out the tips, or just the exhaust and leave the stock downpipe, because that sounds good to me. Like I have my friend Gabe, he has an AWE touring exhaust on his F05, and that sounds perfect to me. But like I said, I gotta save up money for that. Obviously, I can't just blow all the money everywhere. I don't have it like that. I'm just a normal guy. And then other than that, there's what company was it? I think it was, I don't remember, but somebody came out with a whole bunch of carbon pieces, and they have the rear OEM style. At least it looks OEM style. It's maybe slightly more aggressive in carbon, the rear diffuser, and that looks so good to me. I also do like the OEM carbon fiber wing, but it's too expensive. I'm not spending $1,800, $1,600 on a carbon wing. This one looks good. I'm just gonna paint match it. Same thing with the mirror caps. I wanna paint match that. That looks a lot better, looks a lot cleaner to me. I don't know, honestly, how I feel about the TEs. I like them when I first put them on. Obviously, when you first put on any mod on your car, it's like, wow, it looks so good. But like, I don't know, I feel like I've gotten too used to it. I'm not sure how the look of it is. I'm just getting bored of it. I think I want to do 19s so that it fits a little better in the front and tucks the tire or tucks the wheel a little bit. So that's another option, or another thing that I want to do to the car. And then other than that, I think that's it. So the interior is completely stock. Like I said, it's a daily, don't mind the messes. Front bucket seats, obviously that's normal in Type R. The back is normal. My air setup, I have the same with the wire coming out of the vent, so that is the least minimal wire showing. And then I have the dash cam that I showed a couple videos ago, that's kind of hidden there. Then I have the rear dash cam as well, but other than that, completely stock. I love having the management, the controller here. I'm just so used to having it there. When I drive the Civic, I go for it and it's not there and it throws me off. I love this car. Like I said, it's been a great daily. Everything else, like I said, is stock. Engine is completely bone stock. Have the upper camber plates that help me get a little bit more camber than normal. I also want an intake. When PRO releases their intake, I do want to get that because I love how the intake sounds, for example, on the FK8. So I think that's the only mod as of now that I have planned that I want. This is the ride height of the car. So I think it's a pretty decent ride height. It's right at the tire, front and back. I'm running, oh, actually that's the ride height. It went a little bit lower. So it's basically right at the tire. I think it looks pretty good. I'm running a 245/35 in the front and a 255/35 in the rear. The reason I had a square setup, but the reason I had to downsize the tire in the front was because it was pushing on the fender too much and I couldn't add more camber with the clearance that I have for the bag. Oh, and I forgot to show, I thought getting this license plate was kind of funny markup because, you know, that's like a running joke with this car. I thought it was funny. It's like an inside joke. I guess, I don't know within the Type R community, but obviously Type R people know that the markups on these cars were insane. I thought it was funny. So yeah, that's car number 2. And I'm doing this in order of which car I like the least to the best. So the last car is gonna be my favorite car and probably one that I will never ever sell. On to car number 3, my favorite. And of course we have my 2007 Honda Civic. This is probably a car I would never get rid of. And let me tell you why. First of all, let's start off by saying this is probably the crappiest car out of the 3 when it comes to like any repairs that I need, body overall, stuff like that. But I will never sell this car. At least I don't think, unless, you know, my life is in shambles and I have to, for some reason, sell it. When I first got my first car ever when I was 17, it was a 2007 Civic Type R in Sapphire White. Literally just like this. Obviously not with the wheels and all that stuff. It was stock. It was lowered on springs and that's all it had. And all I was able to do in my ownership at that time, I put rear camber arms because I wasn't into camber at that time. The stock wheels had obviously the natural camber from it being lowered. Got a camber arm, straightened out the wheels, and then I got a front lip for it. And that was all I was able to do because I totaled that car not even a year later. So when this one came up, previous to this, I had a black 8th gen SI and it was also a stance build. But then when the white one came up, '07, literally it looked like the car that I had when I was in high school. I was like, that's the one I need. So I got that car and sold the black one. So yeah, let me show you guys this car. This is my favorite. Like I said, this is probably a car I will never sell. Out of the 3 cars, I don't know even why. Over the Type R. I just got the Type R. It's an amazing car, but I love me a SI. So this is probably the car, obviously, that has the most money put into it. It's not an astronomical number, but it's probably way too much regardless. Let's start off with something you see first is the dual headlights. When I got these done, I was probably literally one of the first people to get dual headlights. It was like 2017 when I got these headlights done. Originally, if I'm not mistaken, they were done by Vision Auto Works for the black 8th, and then I moved them to this car, obviously. If you guys knew the hassle that I had for these headlights, it was a whole hot mess. I had another company that screwed me over and I lost like $1,800 for the headlights. And then I had to contact Vision Auto Works and they were able to do the headlights for me. So in total, I probably spent, this sounds crazy to say out loud, I probably spent over $3K in the whole hassle of getting the headlights. But I love them. I love how they look on the car. It just looks perfect. They're RGB. I don't have them connected now, but they're RGB chasing on the headlights. TLX dual retrofit. And then I have ion fog lights and the HFP front lip with a red JDM badge. I have Type R rep side skirts because the OEM ones are like $1,000. And at some point I'll get them because I don't like how these fit at all. I have a Mugen style FD2 bumper with the lip. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the rear with the clear taillights. I love the clears. It just suits this car well with the polished lips, silver faces. And then I have obviously the signature badge. My license plate I think is pretty funny. You know, when I get license plates, I just think it's a joke to me. So hovercraft for this car obviously because, you know, crooked wheels, whatever. I think it looks funny. I think it looks cool. The wheels are Workmeisters L1, 18, 9.5, 0 offset. I don't know, most of you guys are newer. I just got these wheels a couple months ago. My previous setup was Desmond Koenig's. They were 18, 10.5 and 1810 with a crazy offset, -18, -10. But I wanted to calm it down a little bit. This looks chill. I'm running -10 camber now in the front and -14 in the rear. I wanted to run more, but I was having issues with the bag, so I'll get that settled. I know how to run more. I just don't want to mess with it currently. So let's get to the engine bay because it's not stock. So motor-wise, I haven't touched it at all. I bought the car exactly how it is in the engine bay, other than the battery. That's all I changed. So it has, I'd be lying if I remember what it has, but it has header, this ghetto ass intake and exhaust, full bolt-ons. Sounds pretty good. It's tuned on Honda, has boomba mounts. That's about it. It's pretty simple. I think it sounds great. So the plan originally was, before I got the Type R, I was gonna supercharge this car. I can say it now because I'm not gonna do it, but I was gonna supercharge this car, take off the camber and go super meaty on the fitment, super nice aggressive wheels. But now that I have the Type R, to me, it doesn't make any sense to throw 4 or 5 grand into this car when I can put it on the Type R, make a lot more power and make it more reliable. This car, to me, regardless, looks good, stands stout. So it's gonna stay stand stout as of now. I also have the hybrid mirrors that I wired to just stay on permanently. I removed my wipers because I don't need that. I have my windshield coated, all the water flies off when I'm driving. Then I have my chuchero in the back. Is a 10-inch chuchero with 2 tweeters and a driver. Super simple. Literally, this car is a whole hot mess inside. This is the one I don't have my remote on the AC vent over there, and it throws me off every time. Have a radio, have the same voltmeter that I have on the Wagon here, a JDM hazard button, a Type R cluster, or cluster face better said, and then I have the door inserts on all doors. But other than that, inside here and the CSX center console. But that's it on the inside. On the trunk, I have, wow, all this shifted. I've been driving this car for the past couple days, and I guess everything just moves around because something is bolted down. 2 audio pipe 4 stacks, like I said in a previous video. But for new subscribers, I don't know, I need to redo this box. This box is from my old subwoofers that blew. So I gotta redo that because this box is not big enough for these subs. And then I have a second battery here. Then I have all my amps. I can't show it, but all my amps are down here. There's 3 amps, and then there's the management and the compressor for the air suspension. So yeah, tell me guys, what do you guys suggest? If there's anything you would change on any of the 3 cars, I'm open to suggestions because I'm on a standstill. I don't know what else to do to the cars. I think they look good. I have some plans on videos with this car, but for the Type R and the Wagon, they're kind of like just done, and I can't really think of any use for them content wise. So if you guys want to suggest anything, I'm open to it. Leave it in the comments, like the video.